exciting times. We're doing a reading for the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, which is on the 17th/18th September, depending on where you are in the world. Okay, it's a lot. This full moon is related to the North Node in Pisces, and the North Node is about destiny and fate. So there's a lot here about preparing for the next kind of year and a half. The things that we're doing now are about the next year and a half, and that is a lot to be contending with. You may be feeling it. You might be feeling that you need to do shadow work, or that you need to release things, or that you're at least considering releasing things that previously you wouldn't have dreamed of letting go of. It's a lot about getting ourselves into spiritual shape. It's a lot about kind of cleansing and letting go and releasing. All things that we can resist, but I have a feeling, because also this, any Pisces full moon, never mind eclipse, will make you feel emotional, kind of swishy, wishy-washy, but also kind of going up into crescendos and waves and maybe tears and overspilling. Let it all hang out. Do the ugly cry. Chuck a blub. It's all good, honestly. It's all good. I'm a double Pisces. We kind of, we're built for this stuff slightly. Although I think everybody's going to be feeling this. There is also the opportunity to get your house in order. Literally, you could literally be cleaning your house, cleaning your windows, cleaning the mirrors, getting things so that you can see them, see through them, tidying shelves. I know, fills me with complete horror, but it's there. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel this kind of itch to rearrange, to get things done. Okay. Also, you're looking at your, we're going to look at all of this in the reading too. You're getting your identity clear. You're getting clear on who you are, who you want to be, who you were, and who you're going to become. So, let's get into it. We'll cover everything. We're going to look at some shadow cards. We're going to look at future stuff. We're going to look at love stuff, work stuff, but it's about identity, and it's about you, and it's about entering the dream state, looking for the signs and being very hyper emotionally aware. You're going to, oh my God, that's so funny. Okay, so this one came out, that was in the reverse, but I'm not even sure it even matters with this reading, because we've got the Seven of Cups, which is a very, 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 very Neptunian card. And it's a feeling that you might be experiencing when you're in the more chaotic side of this energy. Okay, it's this feeling of, oh God, there's so many options. It's quite nice because you're thinking or you're feeling, wow, there's this vast expanse of options, and I could do this and I could do that. But it's almost like, do you remember when we used to have Blockbuster? How old am I? We used to have Blockbuster, and you go there on a Friday night, and you could really, there was so many different films. I mean, it's even kind of more now where you're on a streaming service. We do it even more, don't we? Where we're flicking through and we're flicking through and we're flicking through, and we just, the amount of choice that we have sometimes almost cancels us out. So you may be feeling, in fact, you will be feeling like you're overwhelmed. Lean into the overwhelm. Okay, first thing to do, lean into the overwhelm. Everybody's going to be feeling it. It's going to be a little bit like the world is becoming a kaleidoscope for a while. It's okay. Go with it. Go with the chaos. Go with the overwhelm. Within this kind of overwhelm, you're also going to have moments of immense clarity. Okay, like hyper awareness. Hold on. Well, you don't even need to try and hold on to those moments, what am I saying? Because those moments will hold on to you. But just dive into them when they come, because they may come to you in dreams. They may come to you in like happenstance meetings with people where someone says, oh yeah, this book or this course or this whatever it is. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. You may be the one who's saying that to someone else. It's that kind of a thing. Exciting times. So revel in it, but also know that it's going to be quite difficult, because remember that we've got some more eclipses for Pisces coming up, okay, over the next year and a half. So this isn't like everything at once now, but this is about destiny. It's about the future. It's about kind of over there. You can almost touch it, feel it, see it, taste it, but not quite. It's not crucial actually that you back one particular horse, because it will change as well. But don't shut anything down. It's really weird. It's like you're going to have all of your, I was going to say all of your flaps open, but that just sounds really bad. All of your, you're going to have to be open to things. If anyone can think of a better way of saying that, please put it in the comment section and get me out of this. Right, okay, so we know we've got this chaotic energy. Chaotic energy, of course, is incredibly creative. So if you're a creative person, get cracking. Okay, what will be difficult is discipline. What will be difficult is routine. But what won't be difficult is inspiration, because you're going to get a lot of it. It's just going to be all over the shop though. And I love that. I tell you what, I'm getting channeled to me. Do you remember, again, back in 80s, 90s, when you used to take your photos to Boots or whatever to get processed? And sometimes they would double over the negative, and like loads of you get a picture of your nan and then you lot in Ibiza or something, and it would all smudge together in one great big sort of woohoo. And photos came out like that with these ghostly people and colours and things. That's the kind of energy we're heading in. Oh, card on the floor. Card on the floor. Okay. We get the King of Cups, which is very nice to get when you're in a Pisces lunar eclipse reading. King of Cups is okay with all of this. King of Cups is kind of the king of all of this. King of Cups, you always get them, his feet are always kind of webbed, or they're in the sea, or he's sitting in a throne in the sea. And he's just this kind of dreamer and poet and mystic. For some of you, this could be somebody that you meet during this time. And we will look at your love life, and there will be an extended reading where we look at your love life even further in the light of the eclipse and what you can do specifically for that, okay? So if you get to the end of this and this really resonates, you'll find that link in the description box, okay? But for now, this could be somebody that you meet during this next few months who is really on a level with you in terms of taking it too far, fantasizing, dreaming, being creative. So it could be somebody you meet in a creative environment, or it could literally be someone you meet at the chip shop, fish and chips. I mean, there is a slight connection, to be fair, but somebody you meet in something completely separate to all of that. But at the same time, this is happenstance. Weird stuff's going to happen. That's the nice part. I love that. You never know. But this is somebody who is emotionally, and I tell you, right, look for their eyes, because the eyes will have it. Young or old or whatever they're colouring, their eyes are going to look like liquid. Let me know in the comments section if this is someone you already know. Okay? Loving that. Then we get the Seven of Pentacles. There will need to be, sadly, work. I know. This is the old school model of work. We have somebody here with his super tash and pretty good hairdo knocking out the pentacles, and it's an 8, so it's an activity card. There needs to be discipline within this chaos. So for example, it will help you a lot to clean out your house at this point. As long as it's in terms of cleansing, taking your winter clothes out or your summer clothes out, depending on where you are in the hemisphere, the things that you haven't worn in 6 months, all of that kind of stuff, and then donating it to Goodwill, to the charity shop, making sure that you are moving energy out, but you're also inviting energy in. But there needs to be a lot of space for this energy to come in, because this energy is like I am channeling a bunch of rowdy 2-year-olds running into your house, pulling things apart, having fun, pillow fights, feathers everywhere. It's chaos, it's lovely, it's bouncy, but if you've got stagnant pockets of energy, for example, let's say you were married, you got divorced, you're done with that, but there's a load of paperwork. You got a load of your ex's paperwork for some reason. Happens, doesn't it? We've got junk all over the house. You're not attached to it, it's not important, or it's not yours. You make arrangements for that to go out of the door. Clothes you don't wear, out of the door. Pots and pans you don't use, over to the charity shop. Go through your books, go through your... I mean, I am honestly the least person who's going to do... I'm already doing it. You've probably already got the itch to do that. Move energy out that you don't need. Even to the point of going into a space and going like this, getting it off yourself. Because the universe is very happy to cooperate with that at the moment. Then you can put some structures around the energy that you do want to work with, the energy that will be coming in. And that feels really, really clean and like there is room for it to circulate. And I think that's really, really important, especially, and we'll look at some shadow cards, because I feel like there's a lot of shadow work. I've just got a new shadow deck. So I've got 2 or 3 or even 4 shadow decks now. And it's because I've been feeling it coming up. I can feel the need to do this shadow work, particularly as we're kind of in 2024, like we're in the sort of last quarter, aren't we, of 2024. And it feels very much like we need to be doing that. I'm with you all the way. I'm doing it myself. I am the most untidy person I know. That is no exaggeration. Yeah, that's me. That's me. Recently trying to use my Henry Hoover. That's me. Honestly, knotted my head on the silver downpipe, scraped my hand in that thing that doesn't unwind itself that you plug in. I know, this is how disassociated I am from the Hoover. So here's us trying to do some hoovering. Here's us saging our house. I saw this thing the other day. I love this. This was good. It was like, I'm a witch, but I'm lazy. I think it was a meme. And she had one of those hoovers that cats ride on. And in my house, it wouldn't even go round because there's so much stuff on all the floor. She had this round hoover thing and she'd whacked a thing of sage on the top. And this thing was going around saging her house while she just had a cup of tea and a biscuit. However you get there, I don't care. I might try that myself. But this is us, okay? This is us. Look closely at this card. This is where we need to be prepared to be at times. Not all the time. But the Ten of Swords is a very, very, very cleansing card. And just remember with that Ten of Swords, for me, because it's this, it looks like a gathering and it can be about your tribe, your family, your people. Not all your connections are still going to be standing in a year and a half's time. Okay, they're just not. And it will be good. There will be more coming in, you're making room. There will be some naturally going out. This is how the world works. But that's your shadow work as well. Identifying your pain points. You know, I know, you know, we both know. It's like, oh God, really? But welcome it. I'm going to welcome it too. It's shaking it off, thinning it out, sloughing it down, whatever you want to call it. Okay? But pay attention to that. It will be across the board. Relationships, jobs, family, the whole bit. Okay. Yeah. Be open to changing things around, switching things around. Remember that Pisces is 2 fish running in the opposite direction to each other, but still attached. 2 of Pentacles, practical life changes. So this is about making space and then actually moving things in and out of your life. People, things, but they don't necessarily have to be like, oh well, goodbye. It can be, I'm going to try working from home. I'm going to try doing this in our relationship. I'm going to try doing this in my life. I'm going to try this practice, changing this. It's about making practical changes, almost like trying something on, you know, like I'm trying on this routine. I'm trying getting up early. I'm trying sleeping in. I'm trying being a night owl. I'm trying being whatever the opposite, a lark, I think they call it. Try things on, okay, for size, because there's a lot of scope for you to change things up. Yeah, so unsurprised to see that card. The Eight of Cups. Now, can you see in the top left-hand corner where we've got the sun and the moon like that? For me, that's an eclipse sign. We've got 8 cups at the front. And cups and eights, as we've already learned from the 8 of Pentacles, and I'll show you the cards actually in a line. Oh, look at that. That looks great. Okay, so the 8 of Cups is a card of walking away. It's a card of moving past something, and remember that the thing that, or the person, or the job, or the situation, or whatever, the pattern, is here at the front, because nobody cares about walking away from something they don't love. It's like, well, okay, yeah, all right, bye. You know, why wouldn't we? The trouble comes when we're walking away from something that we do love. And that is the real test, isn't it? This card is telling me that there are going to be tests about what you want to walk away from, who you want to walk away from. It's an emotional card because it's a cup card. This person is taking this sort of long, really quite raggedy, lonely cliff walk. I mean, it's not looking particularly easy for that person to go. And also they're going to encounter all sorts on the way back. It's a bit of a hike, isn't it? I hope they've got good shoes on. But it's necessary. This is going to be necessary. And these are hard decisions. This card is Saturn in Pisces. Now, Saturn is in Pisces at the moment anyway. But Saturn is so... Pisces is a sign of unlimited flexibility. Quite often not amazing boundaries emotionally. I can say that because I am one. And just a real, like, live and let live. It's the summer of love every year round. You know, we just like, welcome, I've got no boundaries. Let's just keep this thing going. The 8 of Cups is telling you you've got to draw a line. It's Saturn. Saturn is all about drawing lines. Trying to draw lines in water. That's what it is. So, there's going to be a lot of emotion sloshing around about this particular scenario, and it's probably a relationship scenario, or at least something that was very close to you, it's very dear to you, it's very emotional for you. And you getting on your red cloak and getting your big stick like Gandalf and walking off and turning your back on this. A note here, and I feel like these things actually do go together, that in the 10 of Swords, this person has been stabbed in the back. So they also had their back to something, okay? And this can represent as well turning a blind eye to something for long enough that by the time you realise you've been turning a blind eye to it, it's kind of stabbed you in the back. You know, you can kind of feel it a lot. And then you realise it's too painful to stay the same. It is literally too painful to stay the same. So I would say for some of you, you may have already experienced some of this 8 of Cups stuff. That you may have already been at least getting your coat on, reaching for your coat, calling an Uber, you know that you're on the way out of something, or that you want to be on your way out of something, or that you should be, or that you could be. Okay? This is going to it's not all going to happen in like 2 days, but this is something that's going to be difficult to ignore because it will be right there. Okay, so know that you are going to have the strength to be open to letting go, to paying attention to the signs, but also open to receiving. Not yet, but making a clear channel so that when something comes, you're there for it. You're there for it, okay? You're open to it. Oof. There's a lot going on, isn't there? Do leave me a comment and let me know how you're feeling this energy. You know, what's going on for you emotionally? What are you preparing to let go of, or have you let go of something? Have you been doing shadow work? Have you been experiencing coincidences as well? Then we have the Two of Wands coming in. Two of Wands. We always have somebody in this who's like looking out, making decisions, but they're very dynamic because it's wands. They've always got this like globe in their hand, or the moon in their hand, or whatever it is they've got in their hand, like a ball. It's to represent looking out there across onto the horizon. Your reality needs to become more elastic, more stretchy, like my trousers. Ever since 2020, I never, you know how we all stayed at home, didn't we, for 2 years, and for me, I just shifted to elasticated everything, and I never really got back into a proper pair of trousers or shoes or anything. It's all just a bit, you know, I like this soft feel. This is your destiny here, and you need to be like that with your destiny, okay? You don't want your destiny to have a tight waistband. You want your destiny to give you room to move and to maneuver. So try different things. This is literally as well, try walking a different way to work, try changing around your drawers, you know, even the smallest things. Brush your teeth with your left hand or your right hand, depending on if you're left or right-handed. Trying different practical things. This is about trying different creative things. Finding creative solutions. Trying it one way, trying it another way, okay? And it's very dynamic. One or two of you, and there is no real good reason to say this, are dealing with a fire sign person in some way, but we'll come back to that and see if it comes up again. Okay, this is good. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is someone who shows up on time. Someone who is mega, mega, mega consistent. Someone who knows how to get, you know, when you have well, this is really left field. I saw a program the other day about a couple who was starting a vineyard. So they'd gone to somewhere, I can't remember where, it might have even been Cornwall. And they needed to do stuff for about 5 years before even any grapes would grow. You know, irrigation, digging, all that kind of stuff. I'm no gardener. But they had to plan and do and invest and work. So to get grapes to grow is no mean thing. I mean, it's really difficult, and you have to put a lot into it of investment and time and effort and consistency. This king has all those things and works and shows up and is reliable. I'm just going to take another card for him because I want to know where this is at. Ooh. Well, now we get the Lovers. Yeah, I know where this is at. And we get the World card. Right, you're going to get choices between fuzzy, emotional, ecstatic, limerent, gorgeous probably, and sensible, decent, consistent, real. For some of you, this may show up in your love life. For example, if you have ended a relationship anytime, whenever, it could be historical, could be recently, whatever, it will be tested because you'll get some kind of choice between exciting limerence all over the place, but never know how it's going to happen, but amazing emotional, whatever it is, and real touch it, feel it, touch it, feel it, taste it, see it, reality. Some of you it's coming out in relationships. For others of you it's coming out in terms of what you want to build in your career, in your legacy, in your life purpose. And you're going to find you need to find the right balance between these two things. You've still got to have the dreams. You've still got to have that limerence. You've still got to fall in love with an idea. But you also need to make it happen. Like two fish, like Pisces, swing in different directions. One is your creative director and one is your accountant. And these two need to learn to love each other, okay? Woof. Then we get the world, which I like. We are moving from one cycle to another. It's not quick. We know it's not quick. Eclipse energy lasts for a long time. But we are moving from a more fixed world into a more fluid world, okay? It's anything can happen 365 rather than anything can happen Friday. It's like anything can happen anytime. And then we have the lovers. This is going to create not just choices, because it's not literally, oh, I wonder what I'll choose. It's more, it's going to create different paths to go down. Maybe just 2 paths, maybe 3, maybe it's 4 and you're at a crossroads. But you will make decisions in the way you behave, but also in how open you are to letting go the things that are holding you back. The things, the people, the whole bit. Stuff that is holding you back. And remember, when you say no to some things, you say yes to others. So you are clearing a space and you are opening up to the possibility of something that's going to give you a lot more sustenance. And in a way, to the mystery of something new. Especially if you've been stuck wanting one person, one job, one thing for a long time, and maybe even sort of tearing yourself up working towards that thing. Yeah, look at that. The 10s. These two are the 2 10s of oppression. Let's just take me out of it a minute. The 10 of Wands, it's exciting because it's Wands, but you reach this point where it is too painful to stay the same. It can be across the board. It's about starting to tune in to your destiny. Everything is about releasing and cleansing, okay? You're doing things around the house physically, you're hoovering out the car, you know, we're talking just getting rid and maybe even doing some feng shui, but making your physical reality clearer so that your own identity, who you want to become, also becomes clearer, and who you want walking alongside you in terms of your romantic relationships, friends, family, you know, partners in crime, whoever they are. This is a sign that you're ready to let go. This is a sign that things will come to you when you have let go. Let's do a bit of shadow work. I'm just going to take some shadow cards as well. shadow work is going to be a big feature. Okay, it's about your identity. It's about being clear who you want to become. It's not necessarily a time for manifesting yet. It's a time for clearing the decks so that when you do, you have a very clear idea of what you're asking for in terms of your relationships, your love life, in terms of your life, yourself, your relation to the world. Okay, so some of you, it's going to help to write it down, what you want, who you are, who you want to become, who you don't want to become. For others of you, there are different ways of doing this. I'm trying to think how I do it. I don't need to write it down. It's just writing things down doesn't always help me. But sometimes drawing little pictures does. Or vision boards. I do love a vision board. But it's however you get there. Okay? Let's just have a look at your shadow cards here that we're looking at. Gosh, how many swords do we get? We get 3 sword cards, right. Let's have a close look in, and then we're going to take some love cards as well. Right. We got a lot to work with. We got a lot to work with. 8 of Swords. Limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs very often, 9 times out of 10, maybe 11 times out of 10, they come from our family, our childhood, our teachers, early experiences, you know, between about 0 and 13 sort of thing, maybe even 0 and 10. There may be a story that you share about yourself. You know, the way you identify yourself as being good at this, not good at that, anything, whatever it is. The people who've grown up with you tend to get frozen on who you were then. Okay? Who you were back in the day. And what has happened is you carry on living your life, but they're not aware of your inner landscape. So you kind of move along from this, really. And I think that they're not aware of that development. What's happening with this eclipse, what triggers this, is that you're becoming aware of this development. And that's the most important thing. And this is your opportunity, in a way, to throw out their opinion, their influence, their restrictions, and their words on what you tell yourself about what you can and can't do. 6 of Swords. This is, what transitions or changes am I resisting? While at the same time, and this is how we work, isn't it? We know, it says here, at the same time as knowing they're good for my growth and well-being. And this is here, this is the 8 of Cups. If we look here at the 8 of Cups here. If transitions, it's like when we said that the whatever you love or whoever you love or whatever it is you wanted is at the front. Transitions would be easy if we just did them. Obviously, if we just did them, we were just like, yeah, it all falls in line. I feel no resistance and I'm going to do this. Transitions are not like that. They're messy, a little bit kind of painful. Like, have you ever been in a changing room, or maybe this is just me, and you try on a dress, or particularly a dress, or a top, and you haven't realised that it doesn't have like a zip or something, and you kind of got it on okay, and then you go to take it off and you get it stuck on your head. I've done this so many times. I've practically had to call the emergency services to get out of tops in changing rooms, but that's another story. This is you trying to do these transitions. There are going to be times when you feel like you're going to really have to struggle for it, because you are really going to have to struggle for it. You're not wrong about that, okay? And it is going to feel really, really challenging. I get that. Really, really challenging. But that's how it's supposed to be. Be open to everything. Pay attention to the signs. And do you remember at the beginning of the reading where we had the 7 of Cups? Be open to this soapy, weird, vague chaos. It is your best friend. It is the stormy sea. You do need to enter this in order to get there. And then the 7 of Swords. Self-deception, dishonesty, identity, the way you show up to yourself. And also, and this is the most difficult part, it's like if you were cleaning, this is like the corner of the back of Granny's wardrobe. The bit you cannot admit to yourself, you know, whatever it is, we've all got it. You're like, oof. It just looks and feels awful at that point. You're just like, oof, not that. But yes, that. Okay? Dealing with, and this is something to do gradually, okay? This is something to do gradually, and I will do some more shadow cards as well in the extended reading. We will, you know, dig around even more. But to know for now that it's going to take you to places that have previously been left unswept. Let's just say that. Okay? Let's have some love cards. I'm going to use the Scarlet Rose Tarot for this. How are we looking at this eclipse for our love life in particular? And it isn't that it's just going to be about your love life, because it's not. It's going to be across the board. So we're just looking through the lens now of looking in particular if you have things in your love life that you're thinking about, or people. In the extended reading, I will go further and look much, much further into the love life side of things and the shadow side of things. And we can get weird and we can get even freaky there. I don't think this has got that freaky, so that's quite good. But we're going to have to get freaky. That's what this whole eclipse is about, isn't it? Oh, I like this actually. I like it a lot. Yeah. Okay. I want to look at the bottom card. Nice. At the bottom of the love cards, we've got the World. New cycle, old cycle. We're neither at the end of the old one or at the beginning of the new one yet, which is very interesting. We're kind of at that perfect point, aren't we, in the middle, like between ending an old cycle and starting a new one. We've got Justice here. Justice is about karma. It's about the universe wanting to rebalance the account. It can be about who you've been dealing with, who you're going to be dealing with. It's a feeling of being brave, actually, and taking a leap, and the universe recognizing that leap and rebalancing things for you emotionally. Could be in an existing relationship or just in how your love life plays out in general. So if you've been like, I cannot catch a break, this is the universe saying, you do the work, you do the shadow work, you tell me who you want to be, you tell me what's going on with your own identity, how you meet and greet the world, how you love yourself, and I'll show you something different. 5 of Pentacles, this card, oh my God, this card, it's always such a miserable looking card, isn't it? 5 of Pentacles, it's a 5, so it is a disruptor. There is part of this, and especially being next to the 9 of Pentacles, which is Venus in Virgo, there is part of this that you are going alone. Whether you're single, coupled, situationship, whatever, part of this is always just you. You can be married for 40 years and part of this is just you. It's time to attend to you. It will work miracles on your love life, but it will make you feel selfish first. And I'm calling out particularly to you empaths here who need to share and give and feel with people. This is you turning all of that into your own self-growth, your own identity, and realizing your own potential and what knock-on effect that has in your love life. Ditto with the 3 of Cups, linking up with people, connecting with friends, loving everybody, because this is going to have a domino effect into either helping you meet the love of your life, helping you keep and thrive with and be the love of someone else's life. Woohoo! And the 9 of Cups. Love me some 9 of Cups. It's a Pisces card. It's Jupiter in Pisces. This is being brave and absolutely, really and utterly admitting what it is that you wish for. First to yourself, if that's needed, but then also to the universe. Bravely and in a way that risks you not getting it sometimes as well. Let's have a love oracle card. In the extended reading, I'm going to get some more. I've got another love deck similar to this one. I'm going to pull some cards for different scenarios, but also just looking at the ins and outs of a connection and the shadow work as well around that. We'll do a lot more shadow work as well in the extended around what you need to clear and who you're becoming. We get the Rainbow Reviver as a love card, and this is about almost dunking yourself, raising your own vibration. It's huge, but not manifesting. You're not looking to create something yet, because this is about, this is interesting. This is about you clearing and getting ready to receive, not yet about manifesting, because you want to be manifesting from the most optimum place, their life purpose. It's all about you, all of it. This forgiveness card, I will dig around about that, because that's always got a lot behind it. We've got life purpose, you, how your heart radiates out, how stuff radiates into you, how you attract, how you're magnetic. This about when you're feeling depleted and how you can revive yourself for your own sake, being the best version of yourself. Beautiful energy. And forgiveness. Oof. When we get forgiveness, there's shadow work and that 10 of Swords, and also guilt. Empaths have loads of guilt, which benefits everybody except themselves. It's a lot. It's a lot to think about, isn't it? It's a lot to contend with. But it's an exciting time as well, because you're on the brink of something. I'm going to go and do the extended. We're going to crack open some of the really deep shadow decks. We're going to crack open some really full-on love decks and oracle cards as well. If you want to join me over there in your elasticated trousers, it's the first link in the description box. Leave me a comment. I'll see you on the other side. Namaste.